Hey everyone, Sirturmund here again, and today I bring you a little bit of spice, and this is gonna be Renekton Gnar with Warden of the Tribes. The reason that this combination kind of makes sense is because Renekton is an ascended reptile, right? So even in the games where you don't get your Glossiosauria, if you get that Renekton, you're able to advance your Warden of the Tribes by 2. Plus, he also has Overwhelm. So if this Renekton sticks around for your Warden of the Tribes, it's just super easy to like get a big Overwhelm threat. Additionally, Shurima also gives us access to the Berry Armory, which this Treasure of the Sand can be combined with stuff like the Party Portal to get Overwhelm, or with any of your other Overwhelm units to make them humongous threats that the opponent has to deal with. Super fun deck that I saw doing well in the stats, so I figured let's go ahead and show it to you. So hope you enjoy the games coming up soon of Renekton Gnar, Warden of the Tribes. And if you do, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. Enjoy the games, and I'll see you at the end for some more tips. In this match, we're going against Mono Ekko. So this is the Ekko deck that was in the honestly, that Berry Armory looks good. I like the Berry Armory because it's gonna put a lot of pressure into the opponent. I'm guessing this looks like the Ekko deck that was part of the Runeterra Open, right? I really like the Berry Armory Party Portal combo. The All-Terrain Trooper can wait for later because I want to have the Overwhelm, right? I want to put this Treasure of the Sands right away on the Party Portal and start threatening that Overwhelm damage. Because every turn is a bunch of Overwhelm damage as well as Tough and Regen. So the opponent's going to have to eventually need to have enough access to like a Quicksand, right? To be able to actually stop us from just pushing a ton of damage. Either that or they have to have Mystic, right? To be able to kill the Party Portal. So if the opponent keeps the 2 mana to be able to kill the Party Portal next turn, I don't think that we're allowed to play actually play the Party Portal, right? So we go here. That will give us the Treasure of Sands in turn 3. If the opponent plays nothing this turn and just keeps access to Mystic Shot, I don't know that we can play the Party Portal. You notice that, right? So you notice what they did right there? They're playing around it, right? So they're playing around it. We'll pass. It's possible. It's obviously they have the Mystic Shot, right? So it's obvious that they have the Mystic Shot. Very obvious. Otherwise, that pass made no sense, right? At this point, I think it's correct for us to bait it out. So I think it's correct for... Oh, wow, never mind. All right, so this is not a Mystic, so I just passed for no reason. I guess we'll go like this. They actually didn't play for the Mystic there. Interesting. Interesting. Huh. I will say that I'm surprised. I did not expect that. We're gonna keep this guy as an Overwhelm unit. Same thing with the Alpha Wildclaw. We're gonna go here. We're gonna pull that Voice of the Risen by going for a second one. So I want to make sure that I tag that Voice of the Risen so that I can just try to kill it next time. Now, if I go like this, it's very easy for the opponent to have access to the Ekko, right? So I'm gonna go here first, just kill it now, cool. Before the Ekko can come down and buff it up, we can still go for the Saurian, get ourselves a draw. This is gonna get regen anyways. Opponent's down to 11. We ended up pushing quite a bit of damage. We do have this Rider Negation, although the Rider Negation doesn't really do a lot against this deck. I guess it can stop. It will be able to stop the Chrono Break, right? So it can stop a very well-timed Chrono Break. That's a great buff here. So this can allow us to stop a Chrono Break. We got rid of the Voice of the Risen, so opponent needs to have a second Voice of the Risen. So opponent needs to have a second Voice of the Risen, and we'll have access to the Rider Negation to be able to stop. We also, by the way, cannot block with the Party Portal, because if the opponent has like a Quicksand, it can actually remove the Tough, because the Quicksand brings the Portal below power 3, right? Of course. Of course, they have the second Voice of the Risen, because, you know, why wouldn't they? So I want to just have access to Random Negation, I think, right? So I want to just have access to Random Negation. We'll let the Echo hit us. We'll block here and block here, right? So we'll block with these two. Let the Echoes hit us and have Random Negation. So if we want to block that way, I think it's correct for us to put, like, I think it's correct to probably us first to put this Darking Bloodletters here, right? Just get that Cultist out of the way. We'll have the Random Negation and we have the Frost Cup.
This is my future.
If you're just gonna block like this, I'm cool with this. I'm alright getting this, alright. Alright. So I'm not scared of the Chrono Break here, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and just develop this Alpha Wildclaw. Because even if the opponent has a Chrono Break, I think we're in a good spot. Because this Chrono Break is not really that good for them, right? At this point, we can just wait until we get the Warden of the Tribes, right? I'm guessing the opponent has some sort of like Quicksand though.
What's up, show me? Like in the new board?
Little front heavy.
So
Yeah, I guess
maybe we do keep this. Maybe we do keep this Random Negation just in case. Right? So we keep the Random Negation to stop a Chrono Break. As long as I keep Random Negation, the opponent will need to have double Chrono Break, which is not unlikely, right? It's not unlikely for them to have double Chrono Break. We could also just attack with one unit, right? Like we could just attack with the Alpha Wildclaw. If we attack with just the Wildclaw, it still leaves me my blockers. If opponent does nothing against this Wildclaw, we're okay. Yeah, so I think I like that, right? So nothing can trade with the Wildclaw right now.
When we look ahead,
So nothing can trade with the Wildclaw right now. So we can go Wildclaw. Just push this damage through. Give the Random Negation value for a Chrono Break. You can trade it with the Echo. And you use your first Chrono Break here. And then we can just trade everywhere else. Alright, so this is risky for them now because even through Quicksand, we should be completely fine. So even through Quicksand, we should be okay. I guess the only thing here, again, is the second Random Negation. The own Random Negation plus Chrono Break. So if they have their own Chrono Break, like if they have their own Random Negation, this could be a problem. If that's the case, why don't we block in such a way that we can let as many units stay alive? Right? So we can block this way. This keeps the most units alive. We go down to 5. We go down to 5. We still have Random Negation. We have enough to play 2 units here because we can go for the Saurian into the Cup. So we can go Saurian and Cup, right? So the opponent goes Cold Shot.
something for tomorrow.
They have enough for double Chrono Break if they find it, right? They have enough for double Chrono Break. Actually, they have enough for triple Chrono Break if they find all 3, right? So they have enough for triple Chrono Break if they find all 3. We can survive. So we can survive by going like this. And still have Random Negation for the second Chrono Break. So I want to wait until after to negate it. Because if I negate it right now, opponent could have their own Random Negation. But if they play the third Chrono Break, they wouldn't have enough for Random Negation. Opponent doesn't attack here. Because if they attack with that, they will not be able to bring back the Voice of the Risen. Now, is there a way for me to save some Overwhelm units? Yes, right? I can go like this. I can leave this one alive. We can go here, here, here. So we can go like this. And then just have Random Negation for the second Chrono Break. Opponent will have to have found all 3 Chrono Breaks to beat us. So opponent will have to find all 3 Chrono Breaks to beat us. Otherwise, next time we just go Warden of the Tribes and just call it a day. Because the second Chrono Break here is not going to be enough. We're still going to have 8 mana next turn, which should be enough to play the Warden of the Tribes. Now, did you find all 3? Right? Did you find all 3? Is my question. If we find all 3, okay, we're in trouble. They didn't find all 3. So now they need to have double Quicksand, right? Because they took that damage from the Alpha Wildclaw last turn, it means that they're dying here to any of these units. So even a single Quicksand is not enough, because a single Quicksand only removes 2 Overwhelms, while double Quicksand removes all 3, right? So that's why I wanted to keep 2 Overwhelm units alive last turn, so that I could be able to play around the Quicksand. Now, I understand why he didn't attack with the Voice of the Risen, because if I block the Voice of the Risen, right, when the opponent goes for the second Chrono Break, they wouldn't have actually gotten the Voice of the Risen back. I wouldn't have gotten the second one because there would have been too many units on the board. So they wanted to kind of order the sequence. But by not attacking with the Voice of the Risen, it allowed me to keep 2 Overwhelm units alive, which allows me to do exactly what I did this turn, like not respect the Quicksand, right? So very close game, very fun. Just, you know, if they had all 3 Chrono Breaks, they would have won. They got 2, so GG's. In this match, we're going against Drissa, who's playing Swain and Illaoi. The Disintegrate is definitely a problem for us, huh? This is kind of anti-synergy, right? If we go for Second Bakai and Omenhawk, so maybe we just go like this. We have the Warden of the Tribes. I kind of just want to play this Berry Armory right now. Even if he delays my Almond Hawk by a turn, I think that's fine. Let's go here. And what if we just put it on it and just attack? Like, what if we just have this Almond Hawk hit for 5? Okay, that's fine. You get to get the heavy metal out of us, out of them, and that's cool. Problem is that now we don't have a blocker for the Seized Boy, so maybe it was correct to go for the Cup first. Like, it's very obvious that the opponent had the heavy metal, right? Looking back at it. That's going to be a big hit, so that's going to be 6 damage. At this point, I think we just go for the Warden of the Tribes game plan, especially since we have 2 of them. I think we don't need to commit this one. We can get this one as an Overwhelm unit. We can go the Glacial Saurian. Just go like this. Get another one, I guess, for now. These Bloodletters will be really nice right now. We do have this Battle Fury that the opponent's going to have to watch out for. I'm kind of concerned about...
Hello, new best friend.
So... I don't know that I need, like, I want to put these Bloodletters, right? I want to put these Bloodletters somewhere. Let's go here. We ate up another heavy metal earlier, right? So if the opponent has heavy metal here again, that's fine. Even if the opponent has Tentacle Smash, this allows me to trade with the Tentacle next turn. We're still going to be taking 7 damage, which is a lot of damage. Otherwise, we'll just pass for now and just play another Saurian. We can also play Cup and Gnar. So we can go Cup and the Gnar and have 2 blockers. Instead of having nothing, right? The Gnar also gives me access to the Pokestick, which is not bad. Okay, so they got the second heavy metal. That's cute. Yeah, let's just throw that Gnar in there. Let's throw the Gnar in there. Let's give them the Gnar. Give me access to the Pokestick. At least starve off some of the aggression that Jessup is showing us. It sucks because losing the Cultist means it's 1 less subtype, right? So it's 1 less subtype that goes to us, which really sucks. If the opponent has access to like a Make It Rain, whatever, I'll take it. I'll let you hit my Gnar. Like, if you have a way to kill this Gnar with Disintegrate, whatever, I'll let you have it. We'll go here. And again, we're just gonna build the board for the double Warden of the Tribes, right? And just force the opponent to have the answer for that. There's no need for us to commit the Poke Stick anywhere here. Okay, they didn't hit the cup at least. So they didn't hit the cup at least. We still have another one, I guess, right? Another Make It Rain. We go Saurian one more time. Okay, so still doesn't hit the cup, so we still keep some units. That's double Make It Rain already. We'll go second Saurian. I don't know that I need to go for the Omen Hawk. I guess if I go for the Omen Hawk, like, I think I'd rather go Saurian and potentially get a 2-drop that has another archetype. No, doesn't have what we needed, but I think this is still fine. And again, we're just gonna develop, right? We're just gonna develop. Because what this lets me do is that now we can play the Ultimate Trooper, and we can play one Warden of the Tribes next turn, right? So we can play one Warden of the Tribes next turn, and then be able to play Omen Hawk plus a second Warden of the Tribes the turn after that. And it doesn't matter how big this tentacle gets. Once we have this Warden of the Tribes on the field, it's not gonna matter, right? We could also actually kill this Watchful Idol right now if we wanted to with the Ultimate Trooper. And maybe that is the correct play. Stop the tentacle from growing to 8. I want to see if he commits. Okay, so since he's giving it to us for free, let's go ahead and just do this. Yeah, let's go ahead and just do this now. We'll kill this here. We're gonna have to sacrifice one of these units against the tentacle, right? He's gonna have Overwhelm, so that's gonna be a problem. If the opponent does nothing, then this Warden of the Tribes just punishes them. So if Dresov's thought is to just go for like a big Overwhelm tentacle, it's not really gonna work out for him too much. If they don't commit it right now, then they get punished by the Warden of the Tribes. So this is buffing everything by +4/+4. And then it's going to be a matter is, does he get the Leviathan plus Swain, right? If he gets the Leviathan plus Swain, yeah. I'm going to save this Battle Fury into the last possible second. I might actually start with the weaker one first. Okay, yeah, there we go. So he goes for it, which is forcing me to block here. So by going for it, he's forcing me to block here. And then we'll just go like this. 4 means that we just lose to the Leviathan. So if the opponent goes for 4, it does mean that we lose to the Levy. Like if we just go like this, we potentially lose to the Levy. The other option is that we Battle Fury. We could technically Battle Fury this Saurian, but then we're losing to a Disintegrate. So I'm gonna go like this, right? If he has a Disintegrate plus something else, it could be a problem. And let's just go like this for now. And then next one, we'll just go Omen Hawk and second Warden, and the opponent's gonna have a really hard time dealing with all these units. We'll have the Rana Negation for the future. If the opponent has Levy plus Swain, though, it could be a problem. Like if he has Levy right here, okay, it's just Illaoi. So the problem with the Illaoi is that you're still gonna get punished by the second Warden of the Tribes, right? Even if you have the Tentacle Smash right here. Yeah, so they Tentacle Smash, but now your Tentacle gets fully reset. We go Omen Hawk, we go second Warden of the Tribes, and you still need to have a ton of blockers for this big board. So we can go Omen Hawk, second Warden, and it doesn't matter to me what he has, he's not going to be able to protect this. So unfortunately, the double Warden just kind of punishes him too much. Next turn, we do have Rata Negation to protect ourselves. I don't think that this is the correct turn to go for the Battle Fury. I think I just want to get my units as big as possible. They could have a Scorched Earth for this Frost Cup, and could have Disintegrate for another one of my units. But that would be 2 cards that they need to have. Yeah, so another Tentacle Smash, just to summon the Tentacle as a blocker. And then we just go here. And now you have a 10-9, 12-10, 6-6, 11-11 that you have to deal with. We'll go ahead and attack with everything. Take the trades. Opponent goes down to 2 HP. They could have the Levy here. It doesn't matter what they have, right? At this point, even if they had the Levy, it would have been too late. We have Random Negation now. So we can play this All-Terrain Trooper, Random Negation plus Battle Fury, and that's the game. So the only thing that would have been allowed them to beat us would have been that Levy plus Swain combo. But unfortunately, he ended up not getting it, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Jhin Norra, so I control that. So the Lord Broadman is actually going to be such a big problem for us. I think the Broadman is going to be a really big issue for us, right? Because he's going to be able to slowly get rid of all my units. For now, okay, well, the Random Negation could help us out. I want to keep the Renekton in case that we get access to a second Renekton, right? The Ruthless Predator could be really good at dealing with the Broadman. Otherwise, how do we do this? So, we could also have... I mean, the Random Negation is not helping us beat our Riptide Rats. Just because it's going to fill up the stack, right? So, it's going to fill up the stack. We can go Gnar. I don't hate the Gnar. I don't hate the Gnar. It just doesn't give me anything on turn. I go for the cup. I want to have a turn 2 play. Let's go ahead and push the damage here first. Like, I just want to develop all my archetypes, especially making sure that we have something that can survive for the Saurian to come down. Right? So this is already 2 different archetypes. Ascended plus Riptide is going to be another 2. Okay, Young Construct. That's cool. We'll have to give him the first one. We'll give him the first one. I don't want to take that much damage either. He's gonna give them the portals. We can go Renekton. So we can go Renekton here. Next turn, like I said, we'll go for the Saurian. Start getting our draw. And I'm still in a position where once the opponent finds that... Perfect. I'll pass you. I don't need to attack. If you want to burn the mana, it's fine. Once the opponent finds that Broadman, I don't really have a good out, right? So again, it's still like a really tough situation. What we can do is that we could just go for Battle Fury next turn and just put so much pressure on them, right? Like if we go Battle Fury next turn, how crazy is that? How crazy is this Battle Fury next turn? It's pushing a lot of damage, but then it's still... Opponent still goes ahead and can potentially kill afterwards. Afterwards, he can kill with Broadman, right? Because they just need to block the Renekton and then just, with the Broadman, deal the 2 damage. Okay, so you get Jhin, Group Shot, Pytos, that's cool. That's fine. I mean, you still cannot attack with this Jhin. So they still cannot attack with this Jhin. It also means that they only have 2 mana. So if they go Broadman next turn... The curtain rises. There's no way, right? Sure. It does tap me out of the Fury, but I'll take the trade against the Jhin. I'll take the trade against the Jhin for now. So then the opponent Broadmans, I can kill either one of my units here. We could still technically go for the Battle Fury. That's the funny part. Like, we could technically go for the Battle Fury here. The other option is just play for the Warden of the Tribes. And wait for a Random Negation. So we could play for the Warden of the Tribes and wait for that Vayne negation. So, because this is just gonna get punished by the Brahmin afterwards. We could go for this Frostcoat Mother right now. Or we could just go for the second Saurian. Let's go second Saurian. I'm gonna let them have their Brahmin. It's gonna be able to remove both my units here. Yep. So I'm gonna let them have their Brahmin. You go for the pastry. I think it's fine. I think I'm just gonna play for the Warden of the Tribes instead. The problem is gonna be Riptide Rats, right? So like the same turn that I play Warden of the Tribes, the opponent can actually go for a Riptide Rats, and that could technically be a problem. Here we can go Gnar and Blacksmith. So we can go Blacksmith, potentially Gnar. Like this, there's nothing I can do against this Brahmin is the problem. Like almost nothing. Huh. Okay, yeah, of course. Okay, so the opponent tapped out of the Jhin. Wait, so they tapped out of the Jhin here. Huh. I don't know if I agree with that. Now, it might be weird to block with Gnar here. But I want to level up this Gnar and have another Overwhelm threat, right? I want to level up this Gnar and have another Overwhelm threat that the opponent has to watch out for. So now all my units are going to be Overwhelmed. Alright, so you know, it doesn't matter where I would have blocked, the opponent always had the group shot, right? So then next turn they're going to have the pastry. So then next turn they're going to have the pastry. To kill the Saurian, but they're still taking the damage from the two other Overwhelms. So at most they can kill this one unless they have like a... Unless they have two more pings, right? The problem is Riptide Rats next turn just kills me. Because I cannot write a negation.
We are all seeking an end to
wow, okay, so now the opponent needs to have a fast speed stuff? Wait. Why? You only have one card left.
trust me.
Wow. No way, right? I guess the opponent didn't have anything else to remove us with. Alright, never mind. So the Brahmin, as annoying as he was, I just let me do this, right? So I do think blocking with the Gnar last one was correct, right? So I think blocking with the Gnar was correct, so that we at least have 3 Overwhelm threats plus the Warden of the Tribes we have in 4. As you saw, opponent ended up doing that group shot, which they didn't need to use the last turn, right? They could just used it on our turn because the Gnar has still been damaged, but GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Vayne Aatrox. If we just get a big Warning of the Tribes, even their big Celestial, I was gonna say Celestial. If you get a big Warning of the Tribes, even their big units shouldn't be able to stop us. I kind of like the Ultimate Trooper, even though it's not helping us advance our Warning of the Tribes, it is helping us advance our Aatrox, right? And it can trade into something like Broadwind very easily, or even Bane. I do have to play around the opponent having access to like the form up, so that would be a problem. We have 4 archetypes so far, so this is going to be a +4/+4. So 4 archetypes here. That's nice. That is very nice. Let's go Dog first. Let's go Omenhawk and save the Terrain Trooper for later. Ooh. Do I want to play the second Omenhawk over the All-Terrain Trooper and just buff up one of my units? I'm not opposed to it. I also kind of feel though like I kind of want to have this All-Terrain Trooper on the field. It might actually be better for me to go second Omenhawk and just rely on drawing like some units that I can get really big, right? like that, right? Like the Gnar is really nice. If the opponent has access here to an equipment, so if they have access to an equipment, the Gnar dying is not what we want, right? So there's a couple of equipment that they could have here that could be a problem. So we're gonna play the Gnar first. The quick attack means that we just chump block with both Omen Hawks, right? So the quick attack means that we can just chump block with both Omen Hawks. We can go Renekton and have access to a Ruthless Predator, and that's really nice. This Renekton is gonna level up in a single shot. This is already a 5, and we haven't even played Cat yet. We just pass, right? In what world do we not pass here? In what world do we not pass here? We might not even get to that curse, to the Warden of the Tribes turn, by the way. Now the opponent could have it here access to Fish Fight, right? So a Fish Fight will be kind of annoying, right? They could have access to the Aatrox Strike. There's a lot of things that they could have here that could be very punishing for us. What if we just give them the Alpha Wild Claw? So if we go like this, we say, okay, you want to... Because if the opponent tries to play their form up here... Let's say that they play form up here. Okay, I would have just gone for the Curse of the Tomb and just called it a day. So maybe the opponent wants to put this Darking Blade on one of the other units, and why they did it that way. Okay, yeah, so they wanted to go ahead and do that. They could have technically had the Fish Fight, potentially. So if we go all-terrain, if we go the all-terrain Trooper, we can technically pull one of their units. Next time we have Warden of the Tribe, so as long as we keep our board open, we should be okay. But I like the idea of threatening lethal here with the Curse and the Renekton Predator. Okay, so we'll go like this, right? So we'll go like this. And then we'll also go here. Because technically we could present lethal, but maybe we just actually want to kill this girl instead. Trying to think how they can kill my Renekton, right? I'm trying to think, I mean, they can kill the Renekton, right, with the form up. The Renekton doesn't level up because of the tough. I kind of like taking the Scout out of the equation, though. Yeah, so they can kill Renekton with the form up. And that's okay. I'll allow it. Because next time we just go Cup. So next time we just go Cup into Warden of the Tribes and we're okay. Do we ever just wait for this Frost Coat instead? Or do we play the Frost, or do we play the Cup like this? Because technically I don't want to override anything. Let's pass, right? I mean, I don't want to override anything. I don't want to override anything if I don't need to. If we just play Warden of the Tribes next time, opponent shouldn't have a way to stop to kill us at all. Okay, yeah, we just go double Warden and like, this is game. This is game. If one wasn't enough, yeah, let's go here. Now what? Okay, that's a nice brow win. Now what? Now what? That's what. Yeah, this card is kind of busted if you can get to turn 8, so GG's. In this match, we're going against Scouts. We do have Rhino Negation for Champion Strength, right? Do we keep it? Do we keep it is the question. My hand doesn't look amazing. I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna risk it for the biscuit. This is actually a great draw because this Treasure of the Sands is gonna make one of my units be impossible for the Scout player to deal with. So we can go Berry Armory first, even if he delays the Omen Hawk, so that we can actually get the Treasure of the Sands by turn 3, right? Now, I'm not able to play the Omen Hawk here because the opponent can just challenge it. Oh! Oh! Wait! This is beautiful! So we go Omen Hawk, opponent gets baited into pulling this. Then we go Pali Poro. Yeah! Cool. Opponent thinks I'm not gonna block it because I want to have a target for the Treasure of the Sands. Here's my target. Tough, Regen, Overwhelm. Yeah, so opponent loses the game here now because we go like this, and we always keep battle negation for champion strength. And I guarantee you, the moment that we play this battle negation on that champion strength, opponent will surrender. Here, just mark my words. Mark my words. The moment that we do that battle negation on the champion strength, opponent is gonna surrender.
A slight adjustment.
I'm gonna play this Gnar out. Now, I cannot block with the Gnar, right? Because if I do, the opponent can have a form up. Okay. If they have the form up, we have to block the Warden of the... I guess if they have the form up, that's fine. Alright. So we'll go ahead and attack like this. If they have the form up, we can always go for the curse. Notice, they're not gonna block. They're not gonna block, right? They're gonna be like, why am I gonna block? I'm just gonna play champion strength next turn. Remember what I said a couple turns ago. Remember how we kept this in the very opening hand? Right? Remember how we kept this on the very opening hand? There was a reason for that. Let's make sure that we're not dying though, right? So here we go. Here we go. Champion strength to win you the game. I dropped my sandal. We have this Curse of the Tomb with the Gnar next turn, so we're chilling. Yep. And the opponent surrenders. And this is game. They actually didn't surrender, alright. Props to them. They actually didn't surrender. Yeah, okay. They waited. They wanted to wait. They wanted to wait an extra action, but it's so telegraphed, right? It's so telegraphed exactly what was going to happen, and that's why I kept that round negation in the beginning, right? That's kind of like the only way that they could have beat us. Now, we did get super lucky, right? We got that Pouty Poro right when we were going to get our Treasure of the Sands, so I can't complain, right? It became such a big blocker that the opponent couldn't do any chump damage to us. But even then, like, it's so telegraphed what they're going to do, and that's why it's worth it to keep it in this matchup. Even though round negation can be a deck card a lot of times, it's not so much in here, so GG's. In this matchup, we're going against Scouts. So we just need to have round negation to keep... there we go, we get the round negation. I want to look for my treasure, right? Oh, yeah, this is rough, man, right? So we have the round negation for the champion strength, but we don't really have any early units. We do get the Omen Hawk, so that's not bad. It could make it could make some of our units really hard for them to deal with. The Curse of the Tomb could also be a really nice combo card, right? So that's a great draw. That's a great draw, right? Like, it's a 5/5 that the opponent's gonna have to deal with. Plus Curse of the Tomb, plus... Alright. Please give me something I can play this turn at least, though, right?
Looking for trouble.
Alright, so we just go Blacksmith. Opponent will not be able to attack with a Misfortune. And this is gonna push 5 damage next turn. I think I like playing this Renekton right now. Let's start working on the level up of the Renekton. I'm sure that the opponent's not gonna have a great way to deal with this. Yeah, so we'll go like this. Opponent even taps out of form up for us, so this is cool. Has no fearsome blocker. If they block here, they lose one of their units. They don't want to. My guess is that they're setting up for a champion strength, right? So they're setting up for a champion strength. That's actually such a good draw. This Renekton is gonna level up, which is gonna allow me to just Curse of the Tomb to win the game, even if the opponent goes for champion strength. Okay. So if the opponent attacks, this Renekton will level up, which is what makes their attack so awkward here. Alright, so they tapped out of champion strength mana, right? So we can just go here and just have multiple overwhelms. Opponent still doesn't have a fearsome blocker for the Blacksmith. And remember, we still have this Curse of the Tomb, right? So any one of these that gets blocked is gonna allow me to just win the game, right? The question is here, Do we stall the game out and just go for the right negation, or do we just finish the game right here? I think we just finished the game right here, right? So we go like this. Let's go for the Glacial Surian. Opponent takes exactly enough to die. They could have access to a 4-up and survive, but they don't have it. We even get to see the Renekton level up, which is cute. So we get the Renekton level up, and then we get exactly 9 here. And I think the opponent had the champion strat, but just like how we've seen, I mean, you know, we see this game where we just beat them with the Curse of the Tomb. The last game against Scouts, we beat them with the Vayne Negation. We had the Vayne Negation here again. Unfortunately, the Demacia decks cannot deal with these big overwhelms, and the ones that do play champion strat cannot deal with the Vayne Negation. So like, yeah, this is like free LP whenever you go against a Scout, as you saw in the last game. So yeah, GG. Hey, welcome back everyone. Hope you enjoyed today's games of Renekton Gnar, Warden of the Tribes. I mean, what else can I say about this deck, right? Renekton is going to be more like a follower, right? It's not going to be a champion that you're focusing on leveling up in this deck. Really, the only like vulnerable stuff that we have is like the Gnar level up and the All-Terrain Trooper, and I guess if we get a second Renekton, right? Aside from that, we're not really trying to pull stuff with Renekton. It's more there like, is this big follower that counts 2 towards a Warden of the Tribes and has Overwhelm that could potentially create another threat that the opponent has to watch out for after turn 8, right? Most of the games you're going to win through Warden of the Tribes instead, as you saw against the Ekko player, as you saw against the Jace Heimer player. Warden of the Tribes just puts so much pressure against the opponent. Other games against smaller Demacia decks, you can definitely win by just building up a board, right? Like you saw against a poor Scout player, you end up getting the Curse of the Tomb combo, you end up getting this big Overwhelm unit that they cannot really deal with. So they have like a much harder time really dealing with your board when they don't have like these big threats that we have to worry about, or these big removal that we have to worry about. And of course, we do have the Vayne Negation that can just completely stop stuff like Champion Strength from even being a threat against us, which feels really, really nice. So this deck feels really solid. I think out of all the Warden of the Tribes decks that I have played, and I have played Miko Gnar, I have played Norra Gnar, and now I play Gnar Renekton, this is the best. I feel like this feels the most consistent to me, because not only do you have the Warden of the Tribes as a threat, but you also have so many other Overwhelm units, right? The Gnar itself, the Renekton, the Frostcut Mother, the Saurian, the Alpha Wildclaw, and even the Pouty Portal. Like, all of this can be big Overwhelm threats that if they stay on the field when your turn 8 comes in, the opponent's going to have too many of them to deal with at once. But even without that, you can combine, even without the Warden of the Tribes, you can combine those Overwhelm threats with the Treasure of the Sands or the Curse of the Tomb to try to catch your opponent off guard, and even the Battle Fury as well, allowing you to present a lot of damage that the opponent might not have expected. So that's kind of why I like this version over the other ones, because it's less all in on Warden of the Tribes, right? You are going to win most of your games through Warden of the Tribes, but you can also easily win games without it, which feels really, really nice, right? In terms of mulligan, I think obviously we do want to still build up to the Warden of the Tribes. So I am looking for the Omen Hawk early on, the Forsaken Bakai is nice, right? It's a cultist unit. Obviously, I'm looking for the Berry Armory. If I can get the Berry Armory down early, I can put it on one of my units and kind of push a lot of damage that the opponent might not be expecting. If I get the Berry Armory in my hand, I'll keep one and try to look for a 1-drop or a 2-drop so that I can buff them up with the Berry Armor, with the Treasure of the Sands, and just push a lot of damage that way. So ideally, though, we're looking for early stuff, right? Kai, Omen Hawk, Berry Armory are probably the best things to start with, and then keeping Renekton is also not a bad idea. And the Glacial Saurian, if you already have a good enough early hand, keeping the Saurian is not bad, because it is nice draw that this deck lacks some draw, right? So by having the Saurian on the field, you give yourself some draw and give yourself another Overwhelm threat that the opponent has to watch out for, and that draw could be really critical at letting you draw that Warden of the Tribe. So early game, early units, and then your Renekton and your Glacial Saurian are the things that I really want to look for to kind of get this deck going. Yeah, strategy wise, it's straightforward. Just try to build up a board. Don't feel the need to trade into the opponent. Like, you can trade with them if it's gonna be like an actual trade, but don't chump block unless absolutely necessary, so that you can keep enough units to actually be able to get a big buff from the Warden of the Tribes, right? You don't want to be in a situation where you don't have enough units for the Warden of the Tribes to really matter. So if you don't need to block, don't block, right? Only block when necessary. Aside from that, I mean, there's not a lot more that can be said here. Like, the deck is pretty straightforward. Just big units and big value, big overwhelm, recorrects, call it a day. Hope you enjoyed today's games of Renekton Gnar, Warden of the Tribes. If you did, make sure to like the video below and subscribe to us. We post LOR videos every single day. You can also find us on Twitch at Sirturmund, we stream every now and then, and you can also find us on Discord and Twitter. The links to those are both in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again tomorrow.